You've written a book. You need to grab that book here. This book, I read this book from cover to cover on a flight. It's called High Road by David Chauner, Chasing the Yellow Jersey. I'm going to have you hold that for a second. And most people might not know David Chauner as the author. Some might know Dave Chauner as an author. I'm going to tell you, I was pleasantly surprised when I read this, because I didn't know you were a writer. And when I read this book, I was totally engaged with it. It's sort of really, it doesn't name names, but it weaves a really good story. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's funny because I've always been, one of my interests has always been in journalism, and I never went to journalism school or anything like that, but I always say that cycling made me a journalist because I always believe that good journalists have something to say. And I had something to say about cycling, and I love to tell stories, and I've been written now for Sports Illustrated and the New York Times, and I've had my articles published in a lot of places. And one of my sort of bucket list dreams, like everybody said, well, I'm going to write a novel someday, So I really, I had actually sold my business years ago, a different business, and had a little bit of time, and I thought, I'm going to start writing this novel. This was back in 1995, and this was way before, any of the stuff that we know about, with Lance and all that stuff happened. But I'd been to the Tour de France as a commentator with CBS, and and it's just so many characters in the sport, and so many, nuances and so many things that happen. And I went through a lot of that, questioning why am I doing this? What's this all about? And so I decided I would accomplish this bucket list thing when I had some time. And finally, after 20 years, I finally finished it. I had somebody read it and say, this is really good. This isn't just for cyclists. This is for anybody. And so that kind of encouraged me to do it. And then I learned all about self-publishing. In the old days, self-publishing was like vanity publishing, but nowadays it's a real business. And I went to the Amazon's division that does that, and I didn't want to go to an agent. I didn't want to go, I didn't want to go beat on. I just wanted to write the book and see if I could get it published. And I did. And caught on. Did quite well. I mean, it's not a knock your socks off bestseller, but I did get I'm very proud of this. Actually, the Independent Readers Association, which is a group of independent authors, I got the award, Discovery Award for the best literary fiction in 2016. So I was really happy about that.
Well, congratulations! It's a great read. If folks want to get it, how do they go about doing that?
Just go on, just Google High Road Chasing the Yellow Jersey, and Amazon will come up, and you can either buy the Kindle version or the paperback version, and that's all you got to do.
Now, David Chauner, I am so glad that you reached out to us and that you're interested in what's going on in cycling up here in Reading, and that you're still a vital part of the scene, and that you're developing the World Cycling League. We wish you nothing but the greatest success with all of that. The same with your book. For the Reading 120 and Pretzel City Productions, with David Chauner at the Doubletree Reading by Hilton, this is Dave Klein.